Oh, hello, this is Tak Chung from Walk with Tak. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share. If you have any question regarding this video or any other video, please write to me at walkwithtak@gmail.com. It is easier for me to reply to you through email. If you have any comment, also please let me know. Recently, one of the viewers wrote to me and asked me whether I know anything about something called wok chi. Now, wok chi is a Chinese word actually divided into two parts. The first word is wok, and the second word is chi. The word chi can be translated into several meanings in English. One is that it means air. It also can mean breath, but sometimes it also can mean essence. So the term wok chi, which originated from the southern part of China, this term describes the way how you do stir frying and to create a special type of characteristic or a flavor of a particular dish, and it refers to as wok chi or the essence of wok cooking. Now, wok chi has become popularized in the United States, and many cookbook authors has written about wok chi, and it takes on almost a mythical term that is some special flavor that you can create in a wok that you cannot create in any other type of cooking. And so consequently, a lot of people try to achieve wok chi. Now, wok chi is typically found in restaurant cooking. Not all restaurants, and some restaurants claim that their cooking is better than others because they are able to achieve wok chi. And one common characteristic, people always agree that you can only create wok chi if you cook with a high heat capacity burner like the one I have just shown you. Now, I grew up with wok chi because when I was young in Hong Kong, there are many street restaurants as shown here. The street restaurants are well known for their wok chi. They usually cook in the open air. And one characteristic about wok chi is a particular dish, which is a dish that cooked with Chinese rice noodles. And this rice noodle usually cooked with beef, and it's famous for the flavor that it created through wok chi. And this beef rice noodle dish usually found in street restaurants. And like almost any other street restaurant food, the cook usually cook on a high capacity burner, and the end result is that he can cook very rapidly. Usually you place an order, the dish will be ready in about 2 or 3 minutes. And because of this reason, people always associate wok chi with cooking under high heat. And a lot of time, wok chi is associated with street cooking using high heat. So the question is that, is wok chi also can be found in regular type of cooking? Most of the time, my impression of wok chi is that it just tastes a burnt flavor. And whether I like it or not is something that I'm not so sure. The Guangdong province is a province in the southern part of China, which I believe where the idea of wok chi originated. In fact, wok chi is not very well known in other part of China until recently. Even in Hong Kong, where I grew up, wok chi mainly associated with street food. When it comes to restaurant food, there's very little talk about wok chi. So for a long time, I was not really sure what wok chi is all about. Through a chance meeting, I came to know Danny. He is the owner and chef of a Vietnamese Chinese restaurant in Houston, Texas. Now, his restaurant is well known for creating dishes with wok chi. And when I asked him what wok chi is really all about, he told me that the first thing I need to know is something about a chemical reaction known as Maillard reaction. Now, he said in a Maillard reaction, what happened is that in this chemical reaction, it caused food to become brown, as shown in here with the chicken. He said that it is between this temperature range of 250 degrees to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, molecules on the cell surface interact with each other, and they, through a chemical reaction, they form flavor molecules, and it also causes the food to turn brown. He said this is probably the most important chemical reaction in food chemistry, and it is named after the person who discovered it, and his name is Louis Maillard. And through this chemical reaction, you create food molecules that are tasty. And since oil can reach this temperature that while frying make food taste good. However, any type of cooking, if the temperature go to this temperature zone, you will observe browning, as in this case with some bread shown here. And consequently, this will lead to the food taste better because of the chemicals that are generated through this chemical reaction. Now, you will not find that this chemical reaction occur in the case of steaming or boiling because you do not see that browning characteristics as associated with the Maillard reaction. And this is the reason why in cooking, the cooking technique is strive to achieve this temperature range. Of course, in the case of baking, you can achieve this temperature, and you can also achieve this temperature in grilling as well. So when the temperature go above 300 degrees, usually by about 330 degrees, the food will start to undergo caramelization. Because it is at this temperature, sugar molecules on the surface of the food will undergo a chemical change, and something is referred to as caramelization. Now, caramelization will change the color of the food, and here's a good example of caramelization when the cooking of creme brulee. As you can see, the sugar on the surface of the creme brulee turn brown, and it provides a very unusual flavor. And you can also achieve caramelization in frying. So stir frying, if the temperature rises about 300 to 330 degrees, then you will have caramelization to take place. Now, if the temperature continues to rise, what will happen is that the food will start to burn. Actually, this is a process of food, actually molecules turn into carbon. Now, this is a good example of burning. As you can see, this piece of stick, the molecule on the surface of the cell start to burn and turn into this charcoal color. So this again will create unusual burn flavor to the food. And so my friend the chef told me is that wok chi is when you're able to achieve all these three elements, started with the Maillard reaction and then end into caramelization, and finally you will burn the food ingredients. However, you must be able to control this process very carefully because if you burn it too much, the food will not be taste right. And this is exactly my experience when I have experienced wok chi during my years in Hong Kong, is that the food always tastes a little bit burnt, and the reason is because of the heat intensity. Now, when you really eat food that is well cooked, it should be perfectly balanced, and this will rely on the techniques of the cook. As I will discuss in other video, you can achieve wok chi by using the fast cooking system. I will explain to you in future video is that how to achieve wok chi in a regular home kitchen rather using a high power stove. So I post a video each day to help you to make home cooking as part of your daily routine. If you'd like to learn more about my fast cooking system, please subscribe to this YouTube channel. So keep on cooking. I will see you tomorrow.